Hello, I think we're live. I am the RPG Chick, and I'm back for some hosting duties for this super awesome Shantae and the Pirate's Curse run by dijonketchup. So, in case y'all are just joining us here, this is a marathon to raise money for Take This, and we have a whole bunch of donations so far, a whole bunch of incentives, prizes. Y'all have been super awesome so far. We're already over $1,000. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to this awesome lady here, and good luck.
Hi, I am Dijon. This is going to be the Shante and the Pirate's Curse pirate mode, any percent, no out of bounds, which is a lot of words. Yeah. So pirate mode is basically this game's New Game Plus, where you get to start with all the pirate weapons that you would normally collect throughout the game, and your game, because you can just skip a whole lot of stuff in the game because you've already got. So, just gonna go. So, the X. We fought throughout this fast. Got hit. Like when you're moving in one direction, Shantae. And you won't hit that dash. And an exploit that we use now with spaces that we're not needing to use. But you'll see, this is basically that. Just gotta exposition. Basically, the story of the game, Scuttletown sold to we're about to meet his risky.
Dijon, I don't know if you can hear me, but we can barely hear you, hon. So maybe you want to try reducing your bit rate for what you're streaming in your OBS, because I think it's cutting into the Discord audio.
I'm gonna move my here so that I'll be. I have to. We got this dark magic. One. After that. Card real quick. Because we. Hello? Okay, you can hear me? Okay. Okay. That was weird. Yeah, I lowered my stream bitrate.
Yeah, we can definitely hear you much clearer now.
Okay. Clear, so I don't know. So we get to continue? Hello?
I think we're good to go, Yaga, yeah?
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, so, basically I just had to do like a mandatory if there's like one save.
Yeah, it's still cutting. It's still cutting out again.
And mandatory, and it was when I. But So if you have a area in which to activate the made, between analog and D makes it think that you're going. In one direction. So activate the deck. We're gonna do flesh.
Hello. Cool. We have a RMT server, right? For me to watch?
Yeah. Yeah, Yaga will get that for you, like...
Awesome. Cool. How is my voice coming through? Awesome. Yeah, unfortunately my laptop's doing the thing where if I have headphones in, it thinks that those are also a microphone. So I just wanted to make sure it wasn't pecking up. Excellent.
Thank you for jumping in to help out, Luggy.
No problem, I'm just... Oh I'm also restreaming after this. This is gonna get exciting.
That's okay. If we need to hang around for the music for a little bit, it's fine, because we're good.
Okay, cool. Then I am just going to... There is...
Wow, I'm getting no drops.
Oof. There we go. Cool. I've got chat. I've got a stream. And are we on the air? Excellent. Hi, y'all. So I'm filling in, and hopefully my voice is coming through a little bit better. Right now, we're just doing a little bit of last-minute cleanup and shopping before we run off to our first island of this game. This game divides its levels up into a couple of different islands that we'll go across. Each one has a little bit of a different theme, and we are off and running. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Shantae lore, that's Risky Boots. She's our eternal rival, but in this game, we're teaming up to fight the even bigger bad because that's just such a good trope. It's such a good trope. And in fact, you'll notice she's not wearing a pirate hat or anything. We're trying to find her pirate treasures, or at least we would be if we weren't playing on New Game Plus mode. So this is Saliva Island, the first one. We're going to make our way through this kind of secret passage to the other side of what would normally be a pain-in-the-butt platforming section, hit a switch, and keep on our way.
Can I pop in with a quick donation?
Heck yes!
So we got $20 from Phoebe. And Phoebe says, hopefully throwing money at this will make the stream work. You know what? we got the next best thing. We have the lovely Leggy here.
Aw. Well, we're starting off. We get some ham stink off the ham that those two girls are cooking for their beach getaway. We're going to bring it up, and we're going to release the ham stank. Doing some quick pause bufferings there to skip some of the cutscene that's going to happen there, and now, well, the dragon at the top is very hungry and drooling. You definitely don't want to go swimming in that. But luckily, the reflection off the two girls illuminates the secret to the petrify spell. Now, you might say, Leggy, but I played this game. I'm looking for a spell to depetrify a person because this guy is trying to bring his love back from petrification. Well, petrify does not include depetrify in this universe. Here is our first dungeon of the game, and hidden inside this dungeon is a secret retro zone, which we're going to go through first. We're going to use that to pick up some keys, which we can use to skip a fair bit of some of the dungeons we're going to be going through. So there's key number 1. Oof. Getting through that nice bit of tricky platforming. Coming down, this chest has our second key that we're going to pick up. And there's a little bit of a glitch you can do if you get the timing right to skip some of the animations when you pick up an item. Unfortunately, Dijon didn't get it on that last one, but it looks really sweet when you do it right. And just like Zelda 1, these keys can be used across a whole bunch of different places, so we're going to use one right here to skip going back and finding one of the other ones in this dungeon. Normally how these dungeons work is you go in, you run around, it's very Zelda-esque, but the treasures that you would normally find in the dungeon are these pirate items that we already start with. So we can usually just skip through most of the dungeon and go straight for the boss.
Safety save.
Yeah. Dijon did a really nice pogo with the sword there to take those two nerds out. Taking a quick save for marathon safety before we get into our next boss of the run.
And I'm just gonna mess up the shrink.
So the Cyclops plant does have a bit of a cheese strat to it. Oof. The Cyclops plant also has a laser beam of doom. But hey, Dijon gets up there and clears phase 1 with very little effort. Now the eyeball is going to bounce around, and there we go. Boingy, boingy, boingy. And it's down. So, our reward for beating the boss is the map to the next island. So, we've cleared Spittle Island, and now we're going off to Spiderweb Island. So, Spiderweb Island is, if you are at all familiar with this game, or at all familiar with this run, you will find this particular section of the game fairly interesting. And that is, in fact, because of the section we're about to do, known as Run Run Roddy Tops. Shante will have to carry her friend through a maze full of enemies that are one-hit kills. And so it is a little tricky, especially because there is one enemy in particular whose timing can be such that it is impossible to get through it without taking that hit. We like to call that person the Gatekeeper. Gatekeepers are annoying. And here we go. Just a reminder, as we're going through, we are raising money for Take This, which I'm sure our lovely host will have absolutely tons of interesting information to share.
I can totally do that. Take This is a mental health nonprofit, and their main mission is to inform the gaming community about mental health issues, provide education on different disorders and prevention techniques, and reduce the overall stigma around mental illness. They mainly help people from the gaming community suffering from mental illness by letting them know that they're not alone in their struggles, and that there are treatment options out there to help. Our main goal for this marathon in particular is to try and get one of their, oh heck, I forgot the name of the rooms now, because I can't brains anymore.
No.
But yes. AFK room, thank you, Scala. So yeah, to fund one of their AFK rooms at a different convention that they don't usually maybe can't go to, or maybe just help them afford one of the ones that they have, just to make it a little bit easier. And I have taken advantage of those AFK rooms at PAX East quite a few times. One time at PAX West, and they are fantastic. They're nice and quiet. They have the best coloring books ever in existence. There's people there on staff if you need to talk to somebody. I mean, it's really heckin' wonderful, especially if you're somebody like me who has a little bit of anxiety around crowds that large after a while, and you just need that quiet time. But yeah, $10,000 will fund one AFK room at another convention. So we're really hoping we can get to that point. We were really close last year. So hopefully y'all can help us get to that point this time around.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that wonderful bit of information about what we're raising money for today. We're still making our way through the Run Run Roddy Top section, and we're coming up close to the end. Here you see our last enemy type in this section that gets introduced. The ones that shoot their smaller selves. And this particular room can be a little nasty because if you get in a place where you have to run through the spikes but also dodge the projectiles, it can get a little gnarly.
Ooh, can I read a donation?
Heck yes, you can.
Sweet. We have $15 from Garby the Glitcherous. Good luck, dijonketchup. We've got to get the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dramatic readings. Oh, heck yeah. We definitely have to get some of those.
I am only a little bit excited for that particular donation incentive to be met.
And we are only like $8 away! You can do it, everybody!
Holy crap. That's not that much money at all.
It's not, and it's gonna be heckin' awesome. So yeah, we're only $8 away from meeting that incentive.
And it looks like Dijon made it out of Run Run Roddy Tops without a single death. That's really impressive.
Those deathless stay.
So
drop down the Discord because
you know, that's fair. That's fair. So now that we've taken Roddy Tops back home, we can use the oil we were given to unlock this carriage, which basically just allows us to skip redoing Run Run Roddy Tops.
it smells. That's kind of an inside joke because you can't skip that for some reason. I'm gonna take a safety save because this crashes a lot right here.
Yeah, you're definitely like 45 seconds ahead. So now we have everything we need to get into the next dungeon. But first, another safety save for marathons.
Please no crash. Hey.
Handing over the shriveled thing because, you know, that's basically good enough as a key. And we are inside Cackle Tower. Ooh, nice pike ball drop. As we're going to be trying to collect some of these item drops that happen. Specifically later on, we're really going to be looking for two different items in particular. We want Super Monster Milk, and we want Super Pike Balls. because we're going to use those to great advantage on some of the last bosses in this game.
Pirate player, okay.
And I'm not going to say no. Yo, nice Pirate Flare drop. Pirate Flare is a super useful item in this game. It allows Shantae to warp back to the beginning of an island, no matter where she is on that island's overworld, and we're going to use that to speed up a lot of travel as we go through things. Yeah, normally this particular dungeon has a lot of weaving back and forth to try and make our way up the different levels of the tower, but we have the cannon. We can just skip a lot of those side rooms and just go for some pretty good platforming. Yeah, the item you normally get in this dungeon is... Ooh. That was a rough death. Welcome to Shantae, where spikes are still insta-kills. Yeah. As I was saying, normally the item you get in this is that pirate hat you see Shantae using to ride those wind currents. And there's a lot of puzzles around that, but luckily we have all of those extra movement items already, so we can utilize them to skip a lot of the dungeon.
Don't suck.
And here we are in the boss, setting up that pike ball right away. Pike ball, what it does is it creates that floating pike ball around you, which when it runs into an enemy does a little bit of extra damage. Super pike balls are basically the same thing, except they put 3 spike balls around you, which really ramps up the damage you take if you're adjacent to an enemy. Additionally, when we find those monster milks I was mentioning, they add additional damage that your hair whips do. Unfortunately, these don't stack on each other, so the pike balls don't get the benefit of the monster milk, but still, stacking both of them together can really, really cause some damage boss enemies we're going to be facing. Dijon doing a good job of avoiding the fireballs the spider spits out for some reason. Having to pop a potion there, but that's okay. This guy can be a little bit tricky.
Worst boss.
Yeah. It is definitely the worst boss of this game.
I didn't get good item drops either.
Yeah.
Hence the name Dijon Bad RNG Ketchup. Oh my god, I have the potion again.
You got this. Also, when you're done, can you turn down the bit again?
What?
When you're done, can you turn down the bit again?
Turn down the bit rate.
Even further.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for October, it's actually Dijon's spoopy RNG. But GG on taking out that spider. Personally, I would have been in favor of just burning the entire tower down to the ground for a spider of that particular size. But that's just me. Is this island actually Australia? Maybe.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to use our first pirate flare to skip having to do all of the backtracking back to Risky's boat. And we're going to move on to our next island, Tanline Island. Which, this is going to be our first visit. And here... Hey, we got our first monster milk! Yeah. Here we have the Scorpion Centaur ladies, who are really, really generous in their particular set of item drops, as we see Dijon getting her first Super Monster Milk. We have to come up, talk to Squid Baron, and trade him the X-ray specs. And now we have to go back, and you remember that fossil we picked up right before Run Run Roddy Tops? Well, we're gonna have to turn that in, as well as finding the passcode for that obelisk on Tanline Island. It requires 3 different pieces of a map to get the code for the 3 different characters that you can spin it to. And so we're gonna go get one of those right now. Shoutouts to the fish frogs that spit bubbles of fishbone. And so here's the first of the mummies. We have our first piece of the map, or the passcode, I suppose. We warp back, and now we're back to Scuttletown. Sky, our friend with the green highlights in her hair, was interested in Barracuda Joe there, but her dad brought home the mummy statue, which caused Barracuda Joe to get cursed. Yeah, don't you hate it when your parents curse your potential boyfriend? It's just the worst. Luckily, that was the second of the 3 mummies we needed in order to get our passcode. Yeah, there was something, there was a pike ball.
And like regular pike ball drops.
Yeah, and we have our enchanted blade. That'll be a turn-in for later. In probably my favorite sequence in this game. And our final mummy. Okay, chat, remember, lion, bird, fish. Yo, 2 for 2 on the Super Monster Milk. That's really great. Thank you, chat. we got our lion, we got our bird, and now we need our fish. Hey! We've solved the lock, and we can now get into this temple. Where we are promptly thrown in jail. So now we're in one of my favorite sections of the game to meme on, Metal Gear Shante. All of our abilities have been taken away, we're in a Slave Leia costume, and we have to sneak by these guards in order to get out.
Trying to do that quick and miss.
Yeah, these guards can be a little bit finicky to get by.
Colonel, I'm trying to escape the temple. But
As we see right there.
And the clapping of my ass cheeks keep alerting the guards.
And unfortunately, if you get caught during this section, you are sent all the way back to Comfy Pillow Jail.
Which is why I'm gonna be less risky this time.
Yeah.
And I still.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are some risky strats you can try to take through this section. Oof. But we are Shante. We are not risky. That's the pirate lady, not us.
I saw what you did there.
I'm there quite frequently in Terrible Pun Land.
That's okay. I love Terrible Pun Land.
Well, you want to know what my real favorite place is?
Sure.
Awesome Donation Land.
I would like to be an Awesome Donation Land too. Unfortunately, right now, we don't have any new donations. But, like I said before, we are only $8 away from those super awesome dramatic readings for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters. Coming up, we also have a Fight Aeronite incentive for Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns. That is the next big incentive. That is $10 out of $150. There's also some bid wars for Final Fantasy XIII going on, including the color for the Midnight Mauve garb. Right now, the only donation is $10 for orange. Nobody wants orange. Can we please get a better color, please?
Yeah. I mean, if only there were some awesome people watching us right now who could help us be in Awesome Donation Land.
I know, right? And there's a whole bunch of awesome people right here who could help us be in Awesome Donation Land and have us not wear orange things.
Yeah, so while we were talking about Awesome Donation Land, Dijon has managed to make it through the better part of the Metal Gear Shantae section. She took a quick break to go to a hidden area above where she picked up the key to get just a metric hecton of money. You'll notice that on the main island there is a shop where we can buy a lot of the power-ups we need. And we also want a little bit of extra cash just in case we don't get all of the drops we need. This, in fact, is the section where we use the keys we got from the Retro Dungeon earlier to save going through all the different areas, because we need all 3 of those keys to open those doors. And now that we've got all of our friends in one place, we can open the door by pulling on the giant rope. And shenanigans ensue, but we do get the golden pickaxe, which will allow us to actually get into the actual dungeon of this island.
We're in awesome donation land. Can I read them?
Heck yeah!
So we have $9 from Scala Kitty. There, awesome donation time. Enjoy your Yu-Gi-Oh chat. And $10 from Tokuhiro. I hope I'm saying that correctly. What do you mean we're not in awesome donation land? I helped fix. Thank you. You did help fix.
But also, let's just take a quick moment and appreciate this game's hecking soundtrack.
Stuff like that happens.
Oof. That was rough. So we hand over the golden pickaxe. And I just want to plug the donation incentive that we just met, because yes, we found someone with an amazingly bad New York accent for this. It's going to be glorious. I can't wait.
Feels bad, New York accent being made fun of.
I mean, it's that super thick Brooklyn accent.
What, you got a problem with the way I talk?
No, I have a problem with the way that the Yu-Gi-Oh cartoon represents it.
No, I couldn't help myself. I had to go full Brooklyn Jew right there.
I appreciate you. And so now we've made it into the Lost Catacombs, which is our dungeon for this island. We'll start off by getting a little bit of extra cash.
We do have another donation.
Yo, go for it.
We have $10 from Carolyn. Just trying to do my part to make Vonnie's life a little harder. Ooh. I'm intrigued.
As am I. So I think that's 2 Super Pike Balls so far and 2 Super Monster Milks, if I'm keeping track correctly. It's been a while since I've watched a run of this, and so I forget exactly how many we're going to need for the answers, obviously as many as possible. But here we've got another just kind of gauntlet room. You have to clear all the enemies in it before we can keep going. These praying mantis characters are a bit obnoxious, because they will take off one of your hearts, and you only have 2 of those. Shante is a Time Lord confirmed. Nice run through. And we're on to our next boss. Which you will recognize, it's everyone's favorite Squid Baron.
Monster milk. Ball.
Yeah, the Monster Milk does 5 extra damage whenever Shantae attacks. This does not apply to the Pike Ball. So you'll notice those red hits doing the extra damage there. That said, Squid Baron, like all good RPGs, has a second form. The Mecha Squid. Squid Baron 2.0. Oh, never mind. Yeah, if you've played this game casually, you will be familiar with the fact that the dialogue for the Squid Baron here is actually freaking hilarious. If you aren't, I highly recommend you give this game a go. Because they call out the fact that the Squid Baron is just that recurring character who shows up as a mid-boss. But he's fine.
Oh yeah.
Squid Baron just wanted to show up and try to be a main character. And we gave him the glory of fighting us and losing because, you know, boss character. But we made Squid Baron happy by beating him up. So now we're going to hand over the fossil and the X-ray specs and the death mask, which we can now use after a bit of shopping, of course. We're gonna get some nice hair upgrades, which will allow us to do a little more damage in combat before setting off to our next island. So this is Mudbog Island. The movement to get to the main section of this island is really tight and really tricky. So I'm going to keep quiet and let Dijon concentrate until we get to the gates to hell. Yeah. To get through these sections, you really want that movement boost from Risky's boots. That one's not on me, that one's on the devs. Oof. This is proving troublesome. Oh no! And we're through it. That is one of the most terrifying sections of this game, and Dijon performed admirably getting through there. Can we get some shoutouts in chat for that? So now we're going to have to play a game. First, we need to go through and collect 3 coins. Red, blue, and green. And then, since this is the underworld, we're going to play a game for basically our soul. Might just be a progression item, but it's basically our soul. Let's be real. And that game is basically just guessing each one of the coin flips. It is, in fact, a 50-50 shot each time. So... chat, if you want to go ahead and guess how many rounds it's going to take to get the coin flip game through, drop your guesses in chat now. Well, Moobot thinks it's going to be 1,535. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, because our cursor starts on heads each time, we're just going to go straight for that. Hey! So, let's see. My stream unfortunately stuttered, and we get the hopeful flame from someone whose animation looks like no other character we've seen before. I have no idea where anyone might have been dancing like that in this game previously. And from this mysterious figure, we get the manly Musk. Which we use to open up the actual dungeon of this island. The Amulet of Suffering. Which, incidentally, is also the name of my Dune death metal band. And yes, Margaret Ann, you could definitely play bass. There we go. Now this is an interesting little puzzle where you're supposed to line up those cages so you can use the boots to dash through things. Luckily, with the risky shuffle, we can just wobble back and forth once we're lined up on the exit where we have to go, and blast our way through it. And now we come to the boss, whose name is spelt correctly. I don't care what you say. Egron is a perfectly fine spelling for that monster.
Monster milk. Pike ball.
Easy boss.
Yeah. Yeah, this boss can either be super nice, this boss can also just be an annoying pain if you mistime the hits on the head. But Dijon making it look ridiculously easy clears our next dungeon.
Tinkerbats. Oh yeah.
Our mysterious friend hands over the lost soul, which I don't know about you, I'm not sure where to turn that in. If only there was someone whose soul got stolen on camera earlier.
That's why it's lost.
Yeah, I'm lost. I think Shantae should take that soul directly to the Lost and Found.
Pirate flare.
Via way of a pirate flare, now that we're actually back outside. We have unlocked our next island, Frostbite Island, and we're just gonna go poke our nose in there. You know, this place seems pretty chill.
Rep to go.
Frostbite Island, definitely not a secret research testing facility. Definitely just some great ski resort and ice dog habitat. Dijon doing an incredible job of the movement through this island. Getting to these mystery chains hanging from the sky. What is this, a Spider-Man game? Nope. In fact, we've got Propeller Town floating above it. This is actually one of the coolest places in the game, in my opinion, for movement tech. Or you just rode straight into some spikes, you know? Let's give that another shot. There we go. Yeah. Every single screen of this section looks just like that last bit, where you use the boots to propel yourself forward, the cannon to give you that little... and the hat to glide across the screens. It's just really beautiful to watch. As Dijon flies over those annoying robot enemies earlier in Run Run Roddy Tops.
Saving everywhere. And then I'm gonna jump it.
Oof. Yeah. Chat says you're making it look like a breeze.
Thanks.
Yeah, like, if you want to learn this run for any one section, I would personally learn it for that section alone. Here, we get our targeting module, which we need to take back to Scuttletown, because if you recall, the mayor sold Scuttletown to the Ammo Baron, who promptly, after we beat him, I think he took over repairs, or maybe it was one of his minions. Lore's a little fuzzy today. But the good news is that when someone like the Ammo Baron or Subordinate is in charge, your town repairs come with heavy munitions. So we trade the Lost Soul for the Spirit of Joe. And we hand over the Death Mask for a Pirate Flare, which we are just going to promptly use right now.
Pirate Flare activated.
And with all these assorted sundry items we've collected, you'll notice this town looks infinitely more metal. We can bring Barracuda Joe back from the beyond of petrification. Dash across back to the big city, because you recall that sword we picked up on Tanline Island a while ago? Well, now's when we actually get around to turning it in. We hand it over here, and I'm sure that this is not a reference to anything at all. Completely original character, do not steal.
Flare activated.
Legally distinct from email.
It is, in fact, legally distinct. So now that we have our targeting module, we are going to fire, and accidentally blow a hole in Frostbite Island. Whoops. The targeting module was not that good. The good news is we can totally get underground on Frostbite Island and see what's there. You know, I'm sure there's no kind of secret experimental weapons being developed or anything.
Yes, it didn't crash.
Ah, see? See? Nothing's being developed. This factory was abandoned. Oh no!
Sorry, there's one right here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we forgot to pick up a key earlier. Luckily, there is a backup key just right up here. If you're not going Strumpf, can you truly be strong? I was not ready for philosophy at the end of the world. And yeah, easy dungeon, easy life. We got through that really quickly, and now we're on to the Steel Maggot, also known as RNG Palooza. So you'll notice the 3 red buttons on this boss's back. They form a combination lock. You have to hit them in the right order to unlock its weak point on the tail. Every time you guess wrong, that burst of projectiles springs out of its back. Yeah, if you get lucky, you can sometimes get 2 buttons in one jump, but it can be a little tricky depending on its movement. Nice 2-cycle, though. So now that we're done with that, we get our final map to the Lonely Grave.
Oh yeah.
Nice bit of Super Pike Ball. And with this, we can take our revenge on the... I forget, is it like the Pirate King, the Pirate Lord? There's a lot of like pirate nobility floating around in these games.
Yeah.
It's Risky's old boss. Let's just go with that. And he's dead, except... bringing together everything and showing up here awakens him from the grave. And now we've got a final boss to go fight. So, you know, that works out great. Shantae gets to indulge in a bit of piratical nonsense before coming back to Scuttletown, where
It is a glorious thing to be the Pirate King.
indeed. I mean, it looked like this last time, right? This definitely is what this area looked like.
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Seems correct. Yeah, and now Pirate Master's palette, which is definitely what that was called earlier. Here we've got our final dungeon, kind of like the Spiderweb Island dungeon from earlier, where there is a central place we're trying to ascend, and some side rooms that you have to clear through to get through things. Luckily for us, with a bit of precise platforming, we can skip all of those side rooms and just make our way up through this central corridor. And yeah, I'm sure that weird organic growth is what we can take care of. You know, don't pay any attention to the eyeballs or teeth. We'll call the exterminator next week. It'll be fine.
Super Monster Milk!
So we're going to pop all of our power-ups. We've got the Super Monster Milk, the Super Pike Ball, which we've seen before, as well as the Bubble Shield, which is a shield, as one might expect, but specifically what it shields us from are any and all projectiles. So when the Pirate Master is throwing those glowing orbs of doom, we don't even have to worry about them.
That's not
And Pirate Master is on his wobbling skeletal platforms. And time.
GG.
Thank you. I'm going to run off because I have to start getting set up for my next part of this marathon, but thank you all for coming out and watching Dijon. Thank you all for me stepping in at the last minute to help out.
Thank you for stepping in and helping out. We really do appreciate it.
my laptop for being my laptop.
It's okay, Dijon, the run was awesome.
I will see you all soon. Laters.
But just a reminder, while things are getting set up for the next run, this is Speedrun Ragnarok 2019, where we are raising money for Take This. And we don't have any new donations right now, but we still have lots of incentives. We still have lots of bid wars. We have some awesome prizes that you can be entered into for each different day. There are different prizes, including an overall prize, which is the Kickstarter Bloodstained whole kit. So that includes the soundtrack, that includes poster, includes on the Switch. So yeah, we have lots of awesome stuff coming at you. Don't go anywhere.